This is OneWrestling.com, 24/7 wrestling news.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Ray's Wrestling Show. I am the Mark of the Masses, the man with the plan. Big Ray here to stay to talk some TNA today. And ladies and gentlemen, we are not talking Impact 10, 11, 12. We're going to go past that because this weekend is Bound for Glory. We have been waiting weeks and weeks. The BFG series is over. We know what's going to happen, or we know what should happen. I'm going to give you a preview and analysis on what I believe may happen during the matches. Some of my opinions, again, may be a little different than a lot of what other people may think may happen. But again, this is my opinion. I would like to know what your opinion is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go through each match, and I'm going to tell you what I think may happen, and I tell you why I think it may happen, and we'll move on from there. I like to hear your comments, and I want to see basically how many of these things I get right. So we're going to move on. We're going to have Joey Ryan versus Al Snow. Now, I think TNA did a really good job at building this whole situation. I don't know. I'm not really 100% sure if the whole gut check thing with Joey Ryan was not a work in the beginning, or you know, if it was scripted in the beginning. But I'll tell you what, I think if it wasn't in the beginning, I think Joey Ryan did a good job at you know, giving himself publicity on Twitter, you know, going back and forth with Al Snow, so on and so forth, building heat towards this match. I can't see anything other than Joey Ryan going over Al Snow and getting a TNA contract. I had a Twitter follower last week basically tell me, basically asked me a question like, well, you know, they never clarified whether he's getting a full TNA contract or if he's going to get, if it's just basically a one-shot, one-match deal. I guess we'll find out. But I think they're going to offer him a contract if he wins the match. Again, he won't go over clean. That I'll tell you. He won't go over clean. He will cheat. I don't know how he'll cheat, but he'll cheat. And I think Joey Ryan will go over Al Snow in the first match. We move on. Okay, so the next match in the card is the Tna X Division Championship. And this is an interesting situation. On Impact, basically RVD got in the face of Zema Iron. Actually, he kind of kicked, you know, while Zema Iron was holding the title up to his face, he gave him a Van Daminator and kind of knocked him, you know, on his, you know what, on his backside. The fact of the matter is, it's going to be the classic veteran versus the young up-and-coming young lion, I guess, looking to get his spot, and you know, and I actually think Zema Iron is a great character. I see Zema Ion actually going over RVD. I think RVD is going to be putting a lot of young talent over. I think he's had some decent matches, some actually good matches over the course of the BFG series. But now we're going to focus on him challenging for the X Division Championship. Again, this is another situation where I kind of see a spectacular ending to this match. I don't know what they have planned. Zema Ion is an amazing talent. He does have a tendency to make mistakes here and there in the ring, but again, I'm not a pro wrestler. But I think Zema Ion will go over RVD, and I think RVD is going to put this kid over. And I think Zema Ion is going to hold that title until Jesse Sorensen comes back, and that's going to be one hell of a fight, but we're going to move on. So now we're going to have the TNA Knockouts Championship match, and Tna, who I feel has improved in the ring over the last couple of months, will be defending her title versus Tara. Truth be told, I'm not really interested in this match, even though I think that the TNA Women's Division blows out the WWE Divas Division any day of the week with their talent, with TNA's talent. But I actually do see Tara going over and being or becoming the TNA Knockouts champion again. Ms. Tna, I think she may need some time to. I think she needs more ring time, more mic time. Tara is just at this point. My opinion. I would like to know what you guys think. I think she's a better wrestler. She's a better character right now, and I think she can hold the title for a little bit. You never know. Maybe down the line. Maybe Awesome Kong comes back, you know, to TNA. Awesome Kong she's not signed with the WWE. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but you know, down the line we don't know. You know, maybe the WWE releases maybe some of the girls leave WWE, and maybe we can get some good matches with Tara back in TNA. I just feel right now at this point in juncture, Tessmacher is a nice, she's nice, but I think Tara is the way to go right now, and I actually see Tara going over Miss Tessmacher. I think they're going to put up a good fight. I think actually it's going to be a good match between the two girls, but I see Tara going over clean and reclaiming the TNA Knockouts Championship. We move on. So now we have the television title match. Everybody knows by now Devon Dudley left the company. Negotiations didn't go well between Devon and TNA management, and TNA left the title vacant. Well, Samoa Joe won a one-night tournament, and he became the TNA Television Championship. And I don't actually see him losing it anytime soon. When he was tagged up, Samoa Joe, speaking of Samoa Joe, when he was tagged up with Magnus, at first I said, that doesn't work. That doesn't look right, but actually I think they made one hell of a tag team. They had good chemistry in the ring, and I think Magnus is, even though he's been wrestling for some time, I think he's almost there. I had said in the previous video, I see a lot of William Regal in him, not just because he's British, but he's a ring technician, and I think he's actually a better talker than a lot of people give him credit for. But I think it's going to be a hard-hitting fight, a lot of big bumps, but I definitely see Samoa Joe going over Magnus in this match. I think it has potential to be one of the better matches of the night. I don't think too many people are actually looking for this to be one of the better matches, but my prediction is I think this will be one of the better matches of the night, and I think Samoa Joe retains the television title and over Magnus, and we'll move on. So now we have the street fight between Bobby Roode and between Cowboy James Storm with Special Enforcer MMA champion, or a former MMA champion, King Mo. Now, what I'm about to say may sound crazy to you. Hear me out. I want to know what you guys think. Please leave a comment below. You can leave a comment at onewrestling.com or YouTube/OneWrestlingVideo. All right, here we go. I actually think this is going to be the match of the night. Yes, I think this match may steal the entire show. Bobby Roode, flawless in the ring. Cowboy James Storm is almost there. I think it's going to be a phenomenal match. Again, I think it's going to be the end of this feud, and I'm going to explain to you why. This is what I think. Again, my opinion. I'm just taking a wild guess and a shot in the dark. But I do think King Mo gets involved. I think he really gets involved. And I think he gets involved to a point that he may even put his hands on Bobby Roode. I think Bobby Roode gets in King Mo's face, and I think King Mo takes him out, and Cowboy James Storm ends up getting the pin, which will lead me to what I believe may be the beginning of a feud between Bobby Roode and King Mo. Now, nothing's really clear as to what King Mo's role is in TNA, but what better wrestler to put him in the ring with than Bobby Roode? Bobby Roode can carry a match, and King Mo has that star quality potential. I think this may be the making of a beautiful, feud. But again, in this match, I see Cowboy James Storm going over Bobby Roode with the help of King Mo in the match that I think will steal the night. We move on. Okay, so now we're going to have the three-way dance for the TNA Tag Team titles. We have Kaz and Daniels, the TNA Tag Team Champions, defending against AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, Chavo Guerrero, and Hernandez. Now, I think this will be probably one of the most fun matches of the night. I think it's going to be a really good match. We have a lot of good quality, high quality wrestlers. I think it's going to be, a borderline show stealing match. Again, I still feel that the Bobby Roode Cowboy James Storm match will steal the show, but I think this is going to be really, really close. And the last four matches of the night, I think, are going to be fantastic. But again, now I actually see Hernandez and Chavo Guerrero going over and becoming the tag team champions. Now, I know a lot of people want to see Kurt Angle and AJ Styles become the champions. Hear me out. Kaz and Daniels, I think, have held the tag team titles and held it well. I think they're phenomenal heel champions. They just do it right, and they work fantastic together. But I had mentioned in the previous video, I can't see TNA bringing in Chavo Guerrero and not utilizing him. I see them putting the tag team straps on him and Hernandez, and I actually see a feud between Hernandez and Chavo Guerrero, AJ Styles, and Kurt Angle, with a little sprinkling of Kaz and Daniels. I actually see a heel turn for Hernandez and Chavo Guerrero. I think last week we kind of saw a little bit of that, and I could see Kaz. Not Kaz, but I can see Chavo Guerrero, doing his lie, cheating, and stealing thing, and rubbing some of that off on Hernandez, and I definitely see them holding the titles, and I think it's going to be great. I really, really enjoy watching Chavito, and I think him and Hernandez, it's the whole power and glory type thing. We have the high flying technical ability of Chavo Guerrero, and we have the power and also high-flying technical ability of Hernandez. Hernandez is just a phenomenal athlete. But anyway, again, my opinion on this match, I think Chavo and Hernandez go over, become the tag team champions, and I think they may hold it for some time. But the most important thing out of this, I think they turn heel. What do you guys think? We move on. Now, in a night of what I think will be a bunch of twists and turns, like I said before, I think this night will help shape the future of TNA wrestling, whether it be positive, whether it be negative. I think this is going to be a big night. I mean, this is their biggest pay-per-view. We have the Aces and Eights versus Sting and Bully Ray. Now, I have a Twitter follower, and his name is the Pro Wrestling Nerd, and he tweeted me this tweet. Thank you for following me. You can follow me at Big Ray's Show on Twitter. And you'll always find me here at OneWrestling.com or YouTube /OneWrestlingVideo. Now, everybody thinks, I think a lot of people think, and even I thought Bully Ray was part of the Aces and Eights. Now, I said to myself, they think Bully Ray's part of Aces and Eights. A lot of people think Hulk Hogan's part of Aces and Eights. Again, I have a really, really good idea of who the leader of Aces and Eights is, and I would love to say it, but I don't think I'm really allowed to say it, so I'm just gonna hold that back. Again, I'm giving you guys hints as to who I think, but I'm gonna give you another hint. Again, he was part of a huge movement back in the day during the Attitude Era in another company. I said it before, he's had a lot of black and white in his past, and he has a son that I think wrestles for TNA. I think that guy's the leader of the Aces and Eights. But we are going to see, I think, one of the biggest heel turns in TNA history. I actually think that the Aces and Eights will go over Team Sting and Bully Ray. But I think Sting is going to turn on the company. Don't ask me why. It's just too obvious for Bully Ray and Hulk Hogan to be a part of it. And I'm going to tell you this, please, if Hulk Hogan is part of another invasion group, I'm going to lose my mind. I think Sting will turn heel, and I think Sting will lead this group. But there's another guy who I think will also join the Aces and Eights. We'll move on, and I'll tell you in a sec. Okay, so now we have the main event for the TNA World Heavyweight title, Austin Aries versus Jeff Hardy. And like I said before, I think this is the match that will shape the company for a long time to come. I actually think Austin Aries goes over Jeff Hardy in what I think is going to be a fantastic match. But I actually think what happens towards the end of the match and after the match, that's the thing that's going to shape TNA. What do I think is going to happen? I think Austin Aries joins Sting, along with the Aces and Eights. I think Austin Aries joins the Aces and Eights. You see, the WWE has been talking, or CM Punk in the WWE, he's been talking about being disrespected as champion. Well, if you've really been watching the show, or the shows leading up to this pay-per-view, the fact of the matter is that Austin Aries feels pretty disrespected. I don't know if TNA management has given him that much respect. You know, Jeff Hardy sure doesn't give him respect. And the fans, well, Jeff Hardy's over. The fans are not really giving him respect. So, does Austin Aries turn his back? Or has he already turned his back? Has he been part of this Aces and Eights thing the whole time? Ladies and gentlemen, you can follow me here at OneWrestling.com or YouTube /OneWrestlingVideo, or follow me on YouTube at Big Ray's Show. Ladies and gentlemen, I always say this. I would do this for a living, but if I can't, I would do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be back here after Bound for Glory 2012 with a recap of the show. I hope to see you. And if I don't see you then, I'll see you next week for the fallout of Bound for Glory on Impact. Ladies and gentlemen, Big Ray, I'm out.